Hi everyone, this is Psychic Tarot Reader, and so I wanted to do a reading on Mica Miller. Apparently, she died on April 27. This was in Lumber State Park in South Carolina. They said she died because of suicide, and then they examined her body to see what was the cause of death, and it was a self inflicted gunshot. Apparently, before all this, Micah had issues with her husband. They were filing some divorce and John Paul Miller. Anyways, they had filing a divorce, and so she died before they did the divorce, so that was kind of sketchy. And people are saying that the pastor has something to do with it. I believe something similar to that. Maybe the pastor was wanting to control her or something. So I'm gonna do a reading on this. What really happened to her and why did she kill herself? I was looking into some research that I found and there's a 911 call from her before she actually kills herself. I'll put everything in the description. But let's get down to see what really happened. Okay, so the first card. The first card is the Knight of Wands. Now, when I see the Knight of Wands, it is somebody that is being supported because of the horse. But at the same time, they have a stick, so a weapon. Kind of they're ready to go into battle. And they're also being protected because of the armor. So this tells me that she might have been a fighter, a warrior, but she was also being supported, whether it was supported by her family or by her husband. And whatever the issue is, it looked like she was being supported by someone. Let's go to the next one. This here is the Two of Swords. Now, if you notice, the lady here is blinded with two swords, kind of like having her guard up because she can't see what's going on. So I'm guessing Micah is somebody that was very defensive, didn't really know what was going on. I'm sure there were some rumors about stuff that were going on, so she might have been either protective of that or she was protective of herself. Maybe she found out some issues with her husband. I read that he was flirting with other women, and then that could have been the reason why she left. And so this kind of explains it. The fact that she's holding two swords, meaning she doesn't want nobody near her, and she's ready to attack, even though she can't see what's going on. If you look behind her, there's water. So, dealing with some emotional things. Uh, on the website, I was looking and it said that she had some issues, some mental issues, some mental health problems. And so that could be the problem with the water. Water always symbolizes emotions. So she must be having some internal conflict that she was going through at that time. Let's go to the next one. This is the Chariot. Now, the Chariot is interesting because if you see a guy standing there and then the Sphinx, right? One of them represents good, the other one represents bad. So this is symbolizing the husband. The man is a two-faced person. He's two-faced because on one side he shows himself to other people, but on the other side he shows himself differently to his wife or Micah. He must have been somebody that didn't want to show his true intentions, so he was two-faced. He wanted to show a different face when he was in public, and when he was with her, he was showing a different face. Maybe he was abusive to her, or he took advantage of her mental state. Whatever it is, he looked like he wanted to dominate her Because if you see the guy just standing there, kind of like he has power, but you won't know what kind of person he is because he's two faced. So this is saying me that the husband was a two faced person, wanted to dominate, be in control of whatever situation he was in. Let's go to the next card. The Fool. Okay, so this is interesting because the Fool represents somebody that's naive, somebody that's basically that doesn't know nothing. So this tells me that she, maybe at the beginning, she was fooled by him. She was fooled maybe by his looks. And so she was just going along with whatever. But that guessing this reading tells me that she was being supported and then at the same time had some issues. This guy was controlling her, and by the time she found out, she was fooled. She was fooled by how supportive he was towards her, how he was so kind before, and now he shows his true face. So that's why she was fooled. Let's go ahead and continue this reading because I am interested in what happens next. Okay, so the next card is gonna be exactly what I thought. The Lover's card. Well, this card is the Two of Cups. People say it's the Lover's card, but if you see it, it is kind of like it because the guy's approaching a woman. Now, this could be a lot of things, but I'm guessing this is when he approached her. When the pastor approached Mica the first time, maybe this is the first time when they met. He must have really liked her and everything, so he approached her. If you see, the guy is reaching to touch her, but the girl's just standing there. So I'm guessing this guy, Pastor John, wanted to be in a relationship with Micah, so which is why he's stretching out his hand. But you can also read it the other way around. He was also somebody that was looking into other relationships from other women. Remember when I mentioned before, it said that he was going after other women even though he was married. So this tells me as well that he, like in the card, he was two faced, right? He was going after other women even though he was married. That's what he's telling me. So he is cheating. That's basically this card. Okay, the next card is the Emperor. Interesting. So the Emperor is somebody that is very dominant, like a king, wants to be controlling of everything. So he must have thought himself as an emperor. He thought he was like a king, somebody that he can control people, manipulate them, basically be on top of them. He wanted to be on top. That's what it basically means. And also because he was in the church, the emperor, you know, it could also reflect the church and how he was manipulating people in the church. I read that in some article it said that some of the people were a bit confused because the pastor gave the women's his phone number. So that is very strange. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, the King of Cups. The King of Cups represents somebody with emotions but trying to balance them. So I'm guessing this is Micah. With everything that's been going on, she found out stuff, but at the same time, she's trying to be headstrong, not to give in to whatever's going on, which is why you see the cup and then the water. The water's so intense, right? So there's too much emotions going on, too many stuff what she was dealing with. And so she's trying to maintain that composure, not to get overwhelmed, but at the same time she was dealing with a lot of issues, whether it was her mental state or whether it was the issues with her husband. I believe it's the issues with her husband. That's why she was trying to suppress it so it doesn't come out that much. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the Knight of Cups. So just like I said before, water indicates emotion. She was dealing with some emotional things. She was protecting herself from whatever was coming her way. I'm guessing the pastor said something to her, and if you can see, the knight is protecting their solar plex, kind of protecting the part of their body. So she doesn't want to digest what he's saying, word wise. He's probably saying some stuff, trying to manipulate her, and she doesn't want to deal with this, so she's protecting herself, trying to move forward, being being supported by someone. Someone is supporting her. She's moving forward, but she's also protecting herself because she doesn't want her husband controlling her. Hey, let's go to the next one. Okay, so this is the Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, she's been having issues not being able to sleep well, always having somebody interfere with her. Her husband must have been telling her stuff and she couldn't get that out of her head, and it's been traumatizing her, which is why she's created a barrier around it. She doesn't want nobody to get involved or know about what's happening. Let's go to the next one. The King of Pentacles. So this is referring to the guy, John Paul Miller. It looks like he's just having stuff, like it looks like he's just calm and relaxed because he's receiving stuff. So this might be telling me that he is getting stuff, the stuff that he wants, basically controlling people, cheating on his wife, having other women around him. This is basically what it's telling me. So he wants to be like that. The next card is the Queen of Wands. It's interesting because this tells me that even though Micah might not have her power, but she is still strong, still a strong person. You can see that she has a flower, indicating that she still is somebody that's balanced, even though she's going through a lot of stuff. But she also has a stick, meaning she's ready to defend herself and fight back. And if you notice, she's sitting, so kind of like somebody that's in power, but in power of themselves other people, without having others control you. That's basically what it's telling me. Our next card, the Hierophant. Okay, so this is exactly what I was saying about them divorcing. I will explain. Hierophant means somebody that wants to leave, not make a fight, and be in peace, right? So she wanted to not make an issue and do the divorce with him. This is what the Hierophant means. She is not looking to fight. She wanted to have everything done peacefully. So she's been going through a lot of trouble, a lot of problems, a lot of concerns and everything. So she created a barrier. Because of that, the guy thought he could do whatever he wants and have everything, live like a king, basically. Even though that's been happening, she's trying to hold herself together so she doesn't end up losing it, which is why she wants to affirm her power. Because of that, she wants to do the divorce, and this tells me that she wanted to make the divorce. So this was a decision that she was doing. She was thinking about how to handle it, which is why she wanted to do the divorce. And that's what it means right here. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so the next card is the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands tells me that Micah was somebody that was dressed well, always wanting to have fun, basically. Have fun, explore. That's what this card tells me. She's an explorer person, someone that likes to go out, explore, have fun. Next card. The next card is the Wheel of Fortune, and it's funny that I get it in reverse because This tells me that she has no luck. Her luck ran out. Something happened that go with she can't go through it anymore, so her luck ran out. Let's go to the next card. And look at that, the King of Swords in reverse, meaning she lost her power. The part that she wanted was to divorce him. She lost that power. If you see it, it's in reverse. Next card. Oh, so this confirms everything. So basically, she lost everything. She thought she doesn't have no hope. She lost everything. She thinks she basically is a loser and doesn't want to. So basically, she gave up. This is what she means. It means she gave up, basically. She was always somebody that was, you know, on the move exploring, and her luck ran out when she met this guy. Because of that, she lost the power and she gave up easily. Let's go to the next one. Okay, the next card is okay. This is exactly what I thought. The Four of Cups. Four of Cups is somebody wanted to help her, whether it was a friend or spirit or somebody, but somebody wanted to help her. And it looked like she didn't want to have their help because of what she was dealing with, the emotional things, everything. It was too much for her. So she didn't want that. And because of that, next card is the Three of Swords. She was betrayed by her husband. She was betrayed by that John Paul character. You know, he was cheating on her. She found out all of that. And she was devastated, she was heartbroken. She was basically kind of like destroyed. That's what she felt. And because of that, she got thoughts of her wanting to die. This is the Four of Swords. If you see, the person is just laying down there, kind of like dead. This is what she wanted. She wanted to kill herself because of what's going on and everything that's been happening to her. She found out stuff, and you'll see why. The next card is the High Priestess. High Priestesses, you cannot hide nothing from me. I know all your secrets. I found out what the reason is. She basically found out the real reason of her husband and why she wanted to leave him. So, somebody wanted to reach out, her friends wanted to help her out, but she didn't want to. Even though she was destroyed and betrayed by her husband, she got that thoughts of wanting to kill herself. And it all is confirmed because the High Priestess, it means that you don't hide anything. So the video of her where they have a conversation, she calls 911 and tells them that she wants to kill herself. It actually happened. And it happened because of what her husband did to her. I forgot to mention that Mica said in her car she found a tracker and her tire was slashed. So that indicates to me that somebody wanted to give her a warning and to know that they were keeping an eye on her. That someone has to be the husband. Anyways, this is my reading for Mica Miller. I hope it makes sense. Please take this with a grain of salt. One thing I forgot to mention is so when I did the reading, I was able to see exactly how I perceived as what happened. But I want everyone to take this with a grain of salt. And I want you to know that this is how I see it when I'm reading, when I'm doing my readings. It's like a video that it plays, but I'm able to see. So this is what happened to her. And like I said, Make sure you don't have any children there because you don't want them to get traumatized. Anyways, so what happened, and like I said, take this with a grain of salt. And so this is how I see it, how it played out. So Micah went to this national park in South Carolina. And prior to this, they said that she purchased a handgun. So I'm guessing she had everything planned from the beginning. But anyways, she goes to this place. She's walking and she sees a couple of people there, but she just passes by them and doesn't want to get noticed. But I see as she's going further into the forest, she's going into a place that's more secluded, which is why when she called the 911 person, she didn't actually tell them exactly where she was because she didn't know they had to locate her. Anyways, as she was going through that place, a couple of things started to pop in her mind. She was, it looked like she was really upset. Like she was really crying about what happened. And part of it was because of her husband. I'm guessing she found out what really happened, and he is controlling and he is somebody that has two faces. He doesn't want other people to know his real intentions, so he puts on an act, kind of like a bad actor. You can actually tell when somebody's a bad actor. But, anyways, it looked like she found out what really happened, that he was cheating on her, and so, but it might have been with so many other women, maybe she kind of lost track. Anyways, as she is going there, she's remembering all that stuff. She had a fight with her husband, the John Paul character. Anyways, she had a fight with him. I'm not sure what it's about, but I'm guessing she wanted to leave him, which is why the divorce thing always popped out. And so she was thinking of, uh, that, and then she reaches for the handgun. And at first, she tries to put it on her head and pull the trigger, but then she kind of pulls back, and then but she starts crying, and then she falls down to the floor. She falls down to the ground, and so she's all in tears and everything. And then that's when she then um, starts remembering about her family and stuff. She still is a bit scared and afraid, but I'm guessing whatever happened between him and her made it so that she came to this conclusion that she wanted to kill herself. And because I'm sure that John Pog, that character, had some secrets that she knew about, but she was scared to tell, and so she probably feared for her life, and because of that, she wanted to kill herself. And so this is when then she gets up, she cleans her tears and everything, and then she calls 911. And then that's where that conversation with the operator is. Like I said, I'll put everything in the link in the description. So after she tells her everything and the location, she finds out where she is, and then after that, she tells her a message to let her family members know where her body is because she is gonna kill herself. And so after that, she hangs up on the phone, and then the last thing I see is a gun to her head, and then pull the trigger. Now I see from like standing, if I was standing in front of her, I see her. She she's really, really, really badly injured. The shot to her head was really bad. I can see she's bleeding a lot. but she's still conscious for some reason. And I think it's only a moment after that, and she starts not to move. She stops moving. So that's how I see. Again, this is how I see things. As a tarot reader, I'm very open, more psychic. So I'm able to see things like this. Please take this with a grain of salt. This is how I see things from my perspective. But make note and be open minded of what could really happen. All right, this is what I want to say. Thank you again.